Okay, so this is a video on scouring your fabric, which is the first-ish step that you need to do in preparing for natural dyeing. It's really important. It's the step where we are cleaning the fabric, getting rid of any oils, dirts, waxes, stuff like that, so that the next step, which would be mordanting, can adhere properly to the fibers. So this is me just unpacking all my fabric and cutting it to the perspective lengths. Here I'm getting weights of the fabrics, which is very key and important for the rest of the process. So here I'm taking the weight from the fabric that I measured in the previous video, and I am taking 2 to 5% weight of fabric for soda ash. You'll use 5% if it's a heavier fabric and 2 if it's a little thinner. Now this is the synthrapol. You're gonna take about 1 to 2% weight of fabric for this, and how you find that is, let's say your fabric weighs 600 grams. You're just gonna take 2% of that, so you would times 600 by 0.02 to get 2%. And you're gonna weigh both of these and get their respective grams, and then now we will take them to the pot. So you're gonna wanna put in the synthrapol first and get it all mixed up and mixed in there really well. So once this is all mixed in really well, we're gonna grab the soda ash and we're gonna slowly pour that in and mix that really well. You don't wanna just dump it in and be clumpy. You want it to dissolve as best as possible. And also to note, the water in this pot is hot. And soda ash is basically baking soda baked in the oven to change its chemical structure. So it is food grade and safe, but of course you still don't want to be inhaling or ingesting these things because it's in a condensed form. So this is my infrared digital thermometer. This is what I use. I feel like it's the best possible way to keep the lid on and just take it off, give it a stir and measure it. We're gonna go up to about 140, 150 degrees Fahrenheit and keep it there for about 30 to 60 minutes. I like to just check the water temperature before, and now we're gonna grab the fabric and throw that in here and put that into the pot. You do want it to be able to move around freely. So once it's in there, you want to give it a good stir. You don't want it to be totally compact in there, otherwise it's not going to be able to get to all the fabric evenly. So now it's been cooking for a while. I'm coming to stir it, and you can see that the water has turned dirty, which shows us that it is cleaning. So after about 30 to 60 minutes, and once the fabric, you're basically gonna let the fabric cool down. Then once you can handle it, you are gonna want to use your gloves still, and you'll squeeze out the water, put it into a bucket, and then we're gonna head to the rinsing step. So you're gonna wanna rinse the fabric about 2 to 3 times. I always grab around the edges, lift it really high up, and make sure it's getting rinsed in all of the crevices. And now I'm gonna show you the washing machine way to scour. You're gonna wanna start by serging the edges so that the linen doesn't fray when it is in the washing machine. So once you've serged the edges, you're gonna wanna bring the fabric down to the washing machine. Tide is necessary due to the pH of it. That will help it clean. Or if you use a pH neutral natural detergent, you're gonna wanna add 2% weight of fabric of soda ash to the washing machine along with it. You're gonna wanna put the washing machine on a hot cycle with 2 rinses. So after it's done in the washing machine, and also when you're done rinsing it from the pot method, you're gonna wanna keep it soaked and wet it out until you're ready to mordant. Unless you're not gonna mordant for a while, then you can let it dry and you're gonna then come back to this step, but you always wanna wet out your fibers for at least a couple hours before each step so that the dyes and the mordant all adhere properly. Okay, so there you have it. We scoured in 2 different ways. So I just wanted to say this. Mainly why I do use the pot method with the soda ash and synthrapol would be, 1, it does sometimes feel like it cleans it a ton, and I can see the dirty water, so I know it's really clean. But also if my fabric's really, really fragile, so some of the really thin, looser woven fabrics that I use, I wouldn't want to put those in the washer on a cycle because it could really irritate the fabric. So that's mainly why I would use the synthrapol soda ash. But other than that, it really is preference and time and energy and what you want to do. But I would just suggest trying out for yourself and seeing what method works for you. Woo! Subscribe, follow, share, like, whatever you do on these videos, and stay tuned because the next video will be on mordanting, which will be the second step in the process of natural dyeing, and also one of the most important ones, because that is how the dye adheres to the fabric. So scouring, mordanting, and then we'll get to the dyeing. Yay! Thanks for being here.